Well, do we have a change of dynamic here? Hello everyone, I'm Des with Pretty Girls Love Sports as well as MTMV Sports, and I'm standing here on the field right now at Georgia Tech after the heartbreak loss to the Georgia Bulldogs. Now, coming into this game, it was about a 24-point spread, and Georgia Tech was definitely the underdogs here. Again, they were going against an undefeated and defending national champion team in Georgia. Georgia has always been dogs on top. That has been their saying and their motto all season, and rightfully so, they came out on top. Now, the game was much closer than most would expect. People thought that Georgia was going to come in here and blow out Georgia Tech, and unfortunately, that's just not what they did. Georgia had some very costly penalties that stopped them on a lot of their progress. I do feel as though they could have gotten more points on the board without the penalties and with a better passing game. I do feel as though that Georgia has been really good with passing this season, but when it comes against Georgia Tech, they're always really good with the run. Milton ran for 182 yards compared to Jamal Haynes for Georgia Tech, who only ran for 82 yards. Now, there's just a slight difference there. And as I said earlier in my pregame video, that Georgia is #1 in the country when it comes to time and possession and holding the ball. Now, Georgia Tech's defense did step it up. The linebackers played well, the defensive backs played well, and that's a lot of promise going into their next game, which is a bowl game. Now, the coach said in his post-game conference that they don't really know what the bowl game schedule is, who they're going to play. And after facing this loss today, things can definitely change. So they're looking forward to taking a mental break, coming back on Tuesday, hoping that they're just going to be revamped, rejuvenated, moving into the bowl practices. But before I even get any further into all this, let's hear what the coach had to say in his opening remarks in his post-game conference right now.
Disappointing loss against your in-state rival. Thought the kids played hard. Our plan was to take the game to a four-quarter game. We knew they'd not played a four-quarter game this season, and we wanted to get the game in the fourth quarter, continue to play, and be able to win the game at the end. Like I said, I'm proud of the guys' effort, proud of they played 4 quarters of football. They've got a mentality of playing that way, playing for 4 quarters. But at the end of the day, we're not coming here to play a good game. We're not coming here to play well. There's no moral victories. I said the day I was hired that our goal was to beat the team in the state, and that still is our goal. And that's what we'll work to do every day. And we came up short today. That will not stop the work. That will not stop us continuing to make progress. To get that done. Kids played hard. We didn't make some plays. We needed to make some plays.
So as you can see, he was not enthusiastic at all. And that's usually how he is, whether they win or they lose. But compared to last week, it's definitely a downhill in terms of attitude and energy. Although he continuously says that he is proud of his team. He is proud of how far they've come, and rightfully so. The defense is definitely promising, and they are creating their identity as a football team. They're getting back in the motions. They've increased on a lot, from running game to defensive schemes. So this team is definitely high ranked in promise. Now, moving forward in their bowl games, they learned a lot of lessons here, and I think that they'll take those lessons that they learned, and they'll take the mistakes that they learned and the penalties that they had and really use it forward in their bowl game, because this is going to be their next important game. Now, the stadium was packed out in here. Last week, it was packed with Georgia Tech fans. This week, it was packed with UGA fans. But that didn't stop them. Georgia Tech made sure that they had their attitude and their energy up on 10. And I really appreciate that about them, because it just shows that no matter what you do, no matter what you throw at them, they are going to compete no matter what, from start to finish. Now, although Coach said they didn't play a full complimentary game of football, which is rightfully so because they did lose. Looking back into last week, you can definitely see that the attitude has changed a little bit with the players, but I will say their motivation and their ability to stay not only humble but focused did not change. I do want to go back to the players in their post-game conference to see what they had to say about the team and about their progress from the beginning of the season up until now.
I'm going to just start off with the word family. Inside the locker room, on the field, off the field, this team moves as a family. And the growth just from the summer workouts, taking on fall camp, just coming into the season, there's been a full-on growth, not just one side of the ball, just being offensively, defensively too, special teams too. There's been a growth throughout the season. And just from this game, I'm pretty sure y'all can tell, the way we fought, we have an identity. We have an identity, and we're definitely going to keep coming.
If you want to be great, that's the expectation. It's not just because it's a big game. It's every game. It's every day. It's every practice. It's every rep. That's the expectation.
Yeah, like Kyle said, it's not really about a specific player. Like week by week, we try to get more hats to the ball, more effort, more consistently. We call it population to the ball. So like the more people around, more good things happen. So we work on that every day. So not so much week by week, but we are steadily improving, trying to get better at that.
I mean, there's definitely been growth. Regardless, the season goes on. I mean, we're down to improve. I mean, so going on, we started off kind of slow. But getting into it now, we feel like we're starting to build a culture that we want on the defensive side of the ball.
We've come, so I'm really proud of how far we've come over these past few years. There's still steps and strides to take, so that's what we plan on doing.
So as you see, this team is full of promise, as I continuously say. Even though that they lost here today, I think that their progression and the way that they played really shows teams that they are creating that identity that they're looking for. They're getting back into a winning culture. For them to have been 6-5, now 6-6, to play against this Georgia team and contend for the full 4 quarters is definitely shown for a lot of promise. I look forward to see what they bring forward in their bowl game. As for Georgia, they're moving on to the SEC championship game against Alabama, so we shall see there what all that they do and what they bring to the field. They have some things to correct, and hopefully they'll check out the film and do that. But they warmed up in the second half, as I knew that they would, and they did not stop from there. So I'm excited to see if they bring that in their championship game. If you like this content, be sure that you are following on all social media platforms at PG Love Sports as well as MTMV Sports. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.